Welcome to the CliqueCast. I am your host, Big Ron Stud, and as always, we have the homie, the author. Give it to him, Jimmy Jam.
What's up? What's up?
Back with us this week is our own personal Bob Costas, Christian Uncaged, Chris Doggy Dog, CT, whatever you want to call it. He is the man. Give it up to him, Uncaged.
I'm going to let you tell it, big bro, but appreciate it. Good to be back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the CliqueCast is very, very proud to let everyone know that we are now available on Spotify. We are now available on Google Podcasts, Pod Addict. I'm leaving that in there. I don't give a damn. Pod Addict. I'm going to do this again because this is the first time I have to say we're very proud. We have a bunch of new places for you to find us. We're getting our sponsorship on, and the cast is moving forward. So again, as I was trying to say so eloquently, the CliqueCast is now available on Spotify. We're available on Google Podcasts. We're available on Pod Addict, soon to be on iHeartRadio. Check out our Facebook page. Give us a like. Join us. Become a part of our clique. We also have an Instagram page that is still under construction, so give us a like over there when you get a chance. And really soon will be up our YouTube page, and we'll get you more information on that as it comes. Yes, got it all out in 2 takes. So what? All right. This is our actual first review, our big show review. Give it up to B Squared, who couldn't be in today, but is like doing a whole lot of work behind the scenes for the cast and making a lot of us are these moves possible. So thank you, my man. Can't wait to have you back. Also, thank you to Jimmy Jan for making sacrifices and watching this show. I know his heart is hurt. He's probably a little upset.
Wow.
He's a little upset with us, and he's going to let it all out pretty soon. So I'm going to
Let me just say one thing, right? Let me just say one thing. Let me just say one thing. This is a sacrifice. Ron, you said that I am now a podcaster. I don't feel like one, but I'm a podcaster now, so I have to watch these shows. Let me just say, I want some coin in my pocket, some ad money from these shows, because I did not enjoy this. I will slang all the dick pills, Blue Chew, Audible, Ray Shadow Legend to hit us up, because I need some money in my pocket to watch these shows, all right? My God. All right, go ahead, Ron.
Oh, like I said, I was going to have to incur the wrath of Jimmy Jam. I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming, and that's only the beginning. So we're going to start talking about Royal Rumble 22, and I'm sure Chris Dog is going to have a lot more positive things to say about this show. I'm going to be, as I always am, pretty much is right in the middle somehow. It was, and I'm not going to lie, actually. This morning I woke up and thinking about the review. I was like, what the hell am I going to say about this show? Because it kind of sucked. Well, I wasn't impressed. See, and that's why I kept saying I wasn't impressed. Christian Uncaged, what was your take on the show?
Overall, I thought the show was probably like a C+. You can put it maybe at a B- depending on what your highs and lows are. I think, we get, what's the word I'm looking for? Spoiled with the surprises. We've had really, really good years of surprises at points and some lackluster years. And I would say this is probably more of a lackluster year from a Royal Rumble entrant perspective, both with the women and the men. Probably a lot to do with a lot of the releases and different things that they've done, and maybe just where they are with some of the creative, good or bad. So, I know there were some underwhelming entrants that were in the Royal Rumble this year, and I'm sure that brings down the grade. But yeah, I put it right there around a C+.
You couldn't argue with that. I think that's where I would be, like C+ at its best. Let's talk about, okay, so I clicked on pretty much in the beginning because I want to be a responsible podcaster. And so I watched the pre-show while I had like plenty other music blasting and other things to keep me going because it's a pre-show, right? And there was no matches on the pre-show. So I wasn't sure how to take that. There was like nothing but those corny people talking. And so I just moved on for the pre-show, and I just wanted to share that. No match on the pre-show this year. It's a big year. It's a big pay-per-view, and so I just figured it'd be something there to get you started. So the opening match was Rollins versus Reigns. This pretty much set off Jimmy Jam from the beginning, so I'm going to go ahead and let you get started, guy.
So I started this event late. I didn't start watching this maybe like 8 or 9 Pacific time, something like that. And I'll be fair, I'll be transparent. I didn't watch the entire match. I hit fast forward. I saw some of the spots, and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm not a big Roman guy, so whatever. I got to the end. I saw that bullshit, and then I texted you guys. This is exactly why I stopped watching WWE. I don't want to rant. I don't want to come off like a goddamn lunatic.
Why start now? What's different today?
I never try to rant. It's just they just do shit that irritates me. Like, who wants to see a lame ass DQ finish in a championship match on a pay-per-view? It's like, why? Now, granted, like I said, I stopped watching this past June of 2021. I stopped watching. So all I've been hearing is that Roman is this dominant champion. Okay, fine, whatever. Have him kick Rollins in the damn dick and then pin him. Like, what's this lame ass DQ shit? Just fucking pin him. See, I'm ranting now. I'm ranting. And then after that, so before that, they had Charles Robinson. Was he the ref? I think he was the ref. Basically putting Rollins' hand on the bottom rope, and it's like, what? Don't insult my intelligence. The camera's right there. You put his hand on the bottom rope. You know what's so
funny? I caught it. I actually have the show running now just for us in the background, and I saw that this morning when I watched it. He literally did pick up his hand and put it on the rope. So I was wondering if that's me part of the story, but it was extremely obvious the way it went down.
And the very last thing I want to say about is, after that, like I said, I fast forward through the whole match, but I had to take a break after that match. I'm like, is this what I'm in store for? I had to stop. I had to go do something else. I watched Ozark for like one episode, because that show is awesome. Ozark is amazing. I watched an episode of Ozark, and okay, let me get back to this now to get me in a more palatable mood, because I was just after that finish.
Oh my
God,
bless his heart.
Yeah.
Chris, dog, what were your thoughts on the match? Did you catch this match? I know you came in a little late too, actually.
I unfortunately didn't get to see this match. I actually started the show during the Women's Royal Rumble, so I didn't get to catch the match. I actually thought it was coming on later, but now, reviewing and then seeing the later part of the show with Brock Lesnar and Lashley, it made a lot of sense. But it's a shame that match ended that way for sure. I didn't see all of the things that you're talking about, Jay, but, obviously that's disappointing. But, realistically, you can't take the belt off of Roman at this particular juncture, even though it would have been cool seeing Seth get back to it. But you're still, figuring out the end game with Roman Reigns. Can you turn him babyface at some point? Is he going to remain in the same heel stable? Like, what can you do development-wise and expanding the story even further than this? So I believe that they had to make that decision. So it is what it is.
I thought,
Go ahead,
Jimmy Jam. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I do, for all our listeners, I do want to say that I did watch highlight packages and whatnot to try to get caught up with all the storylines and whatnot. So I didn't go in blind. I knew pretty much the storyline that they were trying to tell. And going with a heel versus heel match, that's one of my biggest pet peeves in all of wrestling. I absolutely hate heel versus heel matches because the psychology doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. The audience is supposed to root for one and boo the other. That's just simple wrestling psychology. If it's two heels, two assholes, who am I supposed to cheer for? Who?
He rarely does it work. It has to be some really, really fantastic workers to make it work. And even then, one person or one team has to become the heel, one has to become the face. But yeah, rarely does that really come off right unless you really know what you're doing. I.e., Orange and Tully versus the Midnight Express back in the days. Those are some fantastic matches. Oh my God. But anyway, let me get too old school on you. Shout out to B Squared, who mentioned that Pat McAfee referred to Dean Ambrose as Mox when they were talking about the Shield. Completely forgot that. Missed that shit.
Was he supposed to do that?
Somebody's going to get yelled at. Somebody's going to get yelled at by Vince really badly.
And just to piggy off of that, Rollins said Mox on SmackDown during a promo Roman
as well. He did, didn't he? You're right. He did say that,
huh? That's funny.
Oh, wow, man. Somebody's going to get their asses literally chewed out by Vince. When I say literally, I mean you can see Vince really chewing somebody's ass with his old man face. So I'm going to have to agree. The DQ ending was kind of whack. They could have definitely put over Reigns, but I'm figuring, to me, I guess that means they're headed into Saudi Arabia, which is going to where the Elimination Chamber is going to be, with the main event or one of the matches is going to be a rematch between these two, with some sort of no DQ, whatever stipulation going into it, and then continue the story basically that Roman Reigns has not actually beaten Rollins yet. Go off and beat him in Saudi Arabia, and Vince can make those guys happy because we don't want to get stuck on a plane again and not be able to come back. I should say they, because I wasn't involved. But so yeah, that match sucked. Anyway, moving on. The Women's Royal Rumble. The women's, also known as the Divas Royal Rumble, because it was pretty much all the divas. Those were all. Anybody who was part of the diva generation was there. Some disappointing, some not really surprises. Everybody knew at this point, but Crystal, kick it off with the Women's Royal Rumble. Where did you jump in? I'm curious, actually.
So I came in about midway.
Okay.
I know Molly Holly was on her way in. It was around the time that I got integrated in it. So I was having some NBC Peacock issues.
Oh, dude, the Peacock app sucks ass, yo. I got the Comcast, which is supposed to be way easy, but it's not. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm not a fan of Peacock. They could suck my Peacock. So actually,
we were able to get on there.
I can actually jump. Actually, I have all the one. I took meticulous notes for a change because I'm being a responsible podcaster. And so let's start from the beginning, and then we can hop in there right with Molly Holly. Is that what you said? Okay. You jumping in there? Yeah. So Sasha Banks leads us in there, right? Yes, Sasha Banks. I love it. That's the girl. Which they could have saved her comeback in SmackDown instead of, having her come back at SmackDown. It could have been at Royal Rumble. Her come out at number 1, the Sailor Moon outfit would have been dope. Then Melina, who comes in there, who is technically I don't know if she still is, but was with the NWA at one point. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be any NWA.
I don't think she is anymore.
She's not anymore? Okay. Did she make the jump to Impact too right after that, or no?
What did she run out?
Did she make the jump to Impact right after that, or no?
No, I don't. Was she ever in Impact?
I thought she was at one point.
I don't think so. I mean, I know she was in NWA,
right?
And I know she went to, I think, MLW for a second, or maybe it was Lucha Underground, one of those two.
Okay.
But I don't ever recall her staying in Impact. I don't think so.
Well, what's up with her, though? Because I heard a while ago, probably 2 years ago, that she was working her way back and was supposed to be re-debuting or returning or whatever you want to call it. Like, probably 2 years ago.
Yeah,
I never saw her.
I heard that, too.
I heard
that, too.
I think that was NWA.
She had shot it down, and I guess it wasn't true. Or maybe she was injured. I don't know. But I know there was a report going around that she was coming back She said no. Clearly, it never happened.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think anyone knows what happened with that.
Okay. Well, moving on, Melina. That's a lot of devotion dedicated to Melina. But I really love.
I mean, she came out looking good, though.
Oh my God, shit. I still love the splits. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a sucker for the splits. It doesn't take much.
And then she got tossed out like a fucking geek.
Like a complete jabroni or J-bron. I'm not sure what you call it. Jabroni. I'm not sure what you call the girls. She got blown out like a complete J-bron. She came out second. I mean, and she got thrown out first. So, and then you had Tamina and Kelly and Aaliyah, Liv Morgan and Queen Zelina. Sasha's kicking ass at this point, and she's tossing people out. She tossed out Zelina, which I was surprised she got tossed that quickly. Bunch of people. Bianca Belair comes out at number 8, right? We're all excited. Bianca Belair comes out. Michelle McCool, number 10. I'm skipping over Dana Brooke because why not? A nice surprise I thought was Cameron coming out.
Nice surprise. Word. Nice surprise.
Yes. What are you trying to say? Nice surprise with Cameron because it was going to be an ode to the whole Naomi thing, right? And then you had they had the whole interplay with Sonya Deville, which is kind of cool, bringing out Cameron to like stoke the fires even more so with them apparently. And side note, even my girl looks over and goes, "Hey, Cameron!" Like, how do you remember Cameron? She goes, "Oh, I've been watching the Diva show." Long before we ever got together, she was watching the Diva show. So she remembers like half of the entrance on this thing. It was hilarious. She was naming girls before me, like, "Oh, that's so-and-so. That's so."
Yo, real quick, just for the casual fan who may not remember, who is that? I'm asking for a friend.
Cameron was part of the Funkadactyls with Luchasaurus. Yes.
Brodus Clay.
Yeah, Brodus Clay. Thank you. I'm saying Luchasaurus. Huh? That's the wrong organization.
And it was Brodus Clay who stole Ernest the Cat Miller's theme music.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's rough.
Yes. Funny.
Call my mama.
Somebody had to call my mama. No, so and that's who she was. She was one of the other Funkadactyls, whatever slightly racist term Vince McMahon came up for them. She was one of them. So that was cool. That was a cool little throwback, I thought. And then again, Sonya Deville comes in, eliminates her. And so it's like, kind of stick it to Naomi. Naomi comes in, kicks her ass out. And then eventually Sonya Deville aids in getting Naomi out of the Royal Rumble, which again extends their storyline. When done right, the Royal Rumble is very, very good at extending storylines or creating storylines to set up and go to WrestleMania, which is going to be our next podcast talking about storylines. We'll bring that to you next week. Did we get up to, okay, so we have a bunch of people come in. Well, Charlotte Flair, Kelly. Do we make it? Who'd you come in with, Chris?
I do have a question.
Yes.
If Charlotte Flair is she's a SmackDown champion,
yes,
and she's going around saying she wants to name her own challenger for WrestleMania and all that.
Yes.
Why does she not have to enter number 1? Why does she get to just pick a number and come in like everybody else? Like,
because her last name is like, Flair.
If you want to name your own if you want to name your own challenger, you should have to come in at number 1. Like, I don't see, and why did no other woman want to challenge for that belt at the Rumble? Like, it was too many questions.
Yeah, see, you're throwing logic into WWE booking. You don't.
That's why I don't watch this shit anymore, because I feel like a fucking idiot when I do.
Well, but see, okay, maybe because Charlotte, like Brock did, I think last year, declared herself to be a participant in the Royal Rumble.
And Brock came in at number 1 when he was champion.
As
I was like,
did Roman Reigns.
I don't like champions being in the Rumble, but I was
As
like,
did Roman
you want to come in number 1? All right, fine.
But his name isn't Flair. Neither one of them names are Flair. So there you go. It's the 92 rule. If your father won the 92 Royal Rumble, you get to come in whenever you want to. You didn't know that, dog? It's in the Bible.
Clearly, that is the rule. And one thing we did skip, but we skipped over Sasha Banks getting tossed out early on in that fucking Daniel Bryan spot. as soon as that happened, I immediately thought about Daniel Bryan in 2015.
Yeah.
It was like the exact, like, why? I like Sasha. Sasha's probably my favorite women's wrestler currently right now.
Did you see that part, Chris?
Selena Vega.
Followed by Selena Vega? Is that what she said?
That's what she got tossed out by Selena Vega.
Yeah,
it was like, what the hell?
Yeah, she did.
Why?
Did you catch that, Christoph? Are you there?
We lose him.
Sorry, I broke up. What would you guys ask?
Did you catch Sasha Banks getting tossed out?
So I didn't. I was hoping you guys could fill me in on exactly how that happened because I heard that she came back. I thought it was dope she was number one, and I was frustrated that she got thrown out because if it wasn't Bianca, Sasha was definitely on my list of somebody I would have thought that would have won.
Right. Sasha got tossed out really early on by Zelina Vega, which was crap, which was whack. It actually let the steam out of the match for a little bit, I felt, with the crowd, because the huge boos, and it was just kind of like, why bring her back and then toss her out so early? She should have been amongst the last four. So
she was in there for like 7 or 8 minutes. Fucking Tamina lasted longer than Sasha Banks.
Was it that short? Damn.
It was less than 10 minutes. She was in there.
Right. I think you're right. Because even my girlfriend turned around and looked, it was like, oh, really? It was like literally air got let out the room, got everything.
It was literally Daniel Bryan all over again.
Yeah, it was pretty whack, dude. I definitely, like, again, especially having just made her come back and knowing down the line we weren't going to get a Bayley return. Why not have that go a lot longer? Or especially she could have been in the ring with Ronda Rousey, and that should have been something we wanted to all see. So then we move on. Of course, Charlotte. I guess we're on Charlotte Flair. We mixed a couple people like Rhea Ripley and Carmella, and and all that stuff. But whatever. I thought it was hilarious. Ivory comes out, but it's the RTC Ivory, and she's on the.
And she looks the same too.
Exactly,
like she hasn't
the same. She looks exactly the same. She gets eliminated by Brie Bella. Did we mention that the Bellas came out already? Brie Bella came out, and then now here comes what would have been my fantasy booking story that I know would not come to fruition, but. When number 20 came out was Mickie James. She comes out with her title belt on, which there was some debate as to whether or not that was really going to happen. But if you notice how the cameras quickly shot off of her whenever you got a shot of the belt. She would come out and you see the strap on and went to a crowd shot. Then she pulled the belt out and pulled it up. The camera shot down somewhere else. So they never really gave you a full shot of the TNA title, but she was wearing it. Pretty cool. My fantasy booking story was Mickie James goes on to win this, and she goes on to WrestleMania to face Charlotte Flair in the very first interpromotional women's world title match at WrestleMania. I thought that would have been the coolest thing ever, but also knew that would not.
You know that shit ain't happening.
I knew it was. I said fantasy booking. Fantasy.
All right, fine. And I do want to say, like, I was only like half paying attention to the commentary, but I don't ever recall them saying that Mickie James is the Impact or Knockouts champion or whatever they call her.
They never mentioned it.
I don't think they
Corey
ever
Graves
referred to
mentioned
her
it
as
once.
champion. It said on her little nameplate, but I don't think commentary ever said this is the Knockouts champion.
No, they didn't even mention. They didn't mention TNA. I don't think. Did they? I don't remember hearing that part. No, they just mentioned her being being formerly with WWE, but no, there was a mention of that. So there was that. But again, can you be surprised? No, of course not.
Nah.
You can't, right? Come on. It's, Vince was like, God damn it. Don't say her names. Don't fucking say TNA. So.
He was not going to allow that shit.
That wasn't going to happen. Let's see. We got Mickey puts out Michelle McCool, which I thought was kind of interesting. Like, okay, you going to put out the Taker's wife? Wow. All right. Maybe some shit's going to really happen, but it didn't. Alicia Fox comes out. That was really cool to see Alicia Fox again. Another one.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it Word?
Yes,
Alicia
because
Fox,
I was like, look, Trina, you know who that is? She was like, yeah, that's Alicia Fox. I know who that is. So it was funny. I'm like, literally, it was everybody from like Diva's show. They got the old Divas cast.
I could have done without Alicia Fox, but continue.
And hopefully that was the finale.
Right, hell no. Then Nikki Ash. Oh, I was remember, and I text this when it happened. I cannot wait to explain to Jimmy Jam about Nikki Ash. So Jimmy, here it goes.
Why do you guys hate me so much?
I can't think of what her name was. Nikki something, right? But she was a pretty good wrestler. She was part of that stable, that sucky stable that was in TNA. And she came out, she did her thing. She had some really solid matches. She can work. And I guess she wasn't getting over. And apparently she, quote unquote, as I put up the quotey fingers, came up with this gimmick, quote unquote, where she would come out with a superhero outfit. And she would be Nikki ASH, which was almost a superhero because she wasn't quite a superhero. But she believed in her mind she could be. So she was almost a superhero. And that's how it got.
That's the dumbest shit. What in the fuck is almost a super? Okay, so I remember when you guys sent me the whole graphic of her back like a few months ago.
Yes.
And I was like, this looks fucking stupid. But I didn't know it was almost a superhero thing. It's like,
that's what it stands for. That's what it stands for, Jimmy.
What is almost? Okay, so I knew they changed her name from Nikki Cross to Nikki Ash. I thought it was a Nikki. I thought it was a Karrion Cross thing. That's what I thought. I thought Karrion Cross is coming up. They're going to change her name, but whatever. It's stupid, but it's Vince. Whatever. But what? Almost as I'm really confused. What is almost a superhero?
She's almost a superhero. She's not quite a hero, but she's really believes she can be. So she's almost a superhero.
So let me. So listen. I understand that perspective. It's kind of an old school mentality. It is not how we were raised. We don't really almost or half-ass anything. I get that. However, think about who they're trying to promote to these days, who it's built for. This could motivate a young female with self-esteem issues, potentially. You're almost there. You're becoming
fucking stupid. In what part of life do you almost do anything? What if you with your woman, you with your wife, your girlfriend, and you getting it in, and then, oh, baby, did you come? No, I almost came. And you're okay with that? What if you with your boss? Oh, did I get the promotion? Oh, you almost got it. Oh, great. What?
Okay, see.
This is why I stopped watching. Now
Christian
I'm
Uncaged,
like a goddamn lunatic, which I did not want to do.
Christian Uncaged was going in a more wholesome Judeo-Christian upbringing background with thought of, hey, we're coming to motivate and inspire. You're talking about female orgasm. See, we're on a different page right now.
And damn all that wholesome bullshit. I'm not. I'm openly, man. I'm a sinful heathen.
You are simple, I'll give you that.
Never.
The words and thoughts to you are coming from Jimmy Jam. Do not necessarily reflect the thoughts of the CliqueCast.
They reach the promised land each and every time they see God.
The words coming to you now are directly from Jimmy Jam and reflect his thoughts, not necessarily that of the CliqueCast. We wholesomely thank you for listening to us and continue to follow and like our show. All right. Now.
And if you want to make your woman come, not almost come, BlueChew.com. That's a free. Pay me the next time.
Moving on, apparently we struck a nerve. It's kind of my fault. I really did set this up.
You did set me up.
I did. It's on me, man. Next up was Nikki Bella, who is actually my girlfriend's least favorite Bella. I know you.
Oh, God damn.
She actually has at least favorite Bella. And she has at least favorite Bella. It's awesome. So next out was Nikki Bella, and her sister got rid of Alicia Fox. Then Sarah Logan came in, and I was like, Sarah Logan, thick as hell for a WWE girl. She was like, damn, you healthy, like shit. So, and I'm not knocking it. Don't trust me. I was not knocking it at all. Like, God damn, y'all got somebody like that. Okay, so Sarah Logan comes in, and then next out that matters was Lita. Yes, Lita.
Hey,
Lita. We love Lita.
We like Lita here.
We like Lita on the cast. The Clique likes Lita. Lita, she a freak, and I do freaks. I'm saying never mind. So Leah came out, and it was cool to see Leah. And her and Mickie James had a standout. I know they had some history going back in the days. This is where I think Crystal pops in. Is Mighty Molly comes out with her butch haircut. She looks like Mighty Molly did Molly before she got that haircut. That's what she looks like.
Oh, the butcher, the blade, or the bunny?
She's all three. I don't know. Maybe she came out. I'm not knocking nothing. We here at the CliqueCast fully support the LGBTQ community, and I'm not making any
full support.
But she came out with this. I think I've seen it before. And I'm just like, wow, that's not cute. But anyway, that doesn't matter. It's what I think. So after
listen. Ron's words are his own. Jimmy said nothing about a butch haircut. Don't come for me. I said nothing about a butch haircut.
So this is what my brother's trying to say. The cut didn't look good on her. That's it.
See, I'm not trying to knock it. I'm from San Francisco, and then we just speak free about shit, and I've been around a lot of things, and I'm going to call it as I fucking see it. All right. So, next out was Ronda Rousey, the worst kept secret in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, actually. We all pretty much knew Ronda Rousey was going to be there, and at that moment, right, we all pretty much knew who was winning the match. As much as I wanted to see Bianca Belair win and go on to face, Becky, and at the WrestleMania main event first night, probably. I knew that wasn't going to happen in this case. I knew Ronda Rousey was going to win. She comes out and she dumps out Nikki Ash. Shh, calm down, Jimmy. Hold it. And she,
I'm done.
She puts out a Brie outs Nikki. That's what happened, and it was sister on sister crime. That's what happened. Brie put out Nikki, and Shotzi Blackheart comes out, and Shayna Baszler, who was completely ruined. We hadn't seen her for months before this, so Shayna Baszler comes out. And
wait, hold on. Let me just say one thing. What's with all the new shitty music in WWE? Every time someone came, I'm like, this person's music is different, and it's worse than what I remember. It's like, I used to love Shayna Baszler's music. She had awesome theme music, and now this generic bullshit, like, it has no identity. It has no soul. Anyone can have that music.
Speaking of no identity and no soul, we're going to get to that at the Men's Royal Rumble. But what were you saying, Christo?
We got to bring back the originator from all the volumes back in the day. Was his name like Jim Johnson or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was him. And they fired his ass.
Yeah. It was a money and rights issue. Anyway, so we get down to our last four women, and like traditionally, the last four, whoever men or women in the Royal Rumble are like our top four in the company in that position, or top four people on that brand in this case, or whatever. But these are your top people in the company. So our last four people were Bianca, Charlotte Flair, Shayna Baszler. Of course, she just came out at 30, and Ronda Rousey. You ended up having Ronda Rousey Flair 1-on-1, and of course Rousey wins after Bianca gets tossed out. Charlotte puts out Flair. Flair and Rousey goes 1-1, and that's how it goes down. I like actually Chris Dog, Kristen Uncaged, CT. he came up with something that I'm going to start using. I'm just realized that right now. We're not going to give out stars. We're giving out grades. What would you give the grade, Christian Uncaged? What would you give the grade to that Women's Royal Rumble?
Are we going with stars or are we going with like A, B, C, D?
Our grades. This is your rating system that you created about 20 minutes ago.
Okay. Let's be different. So I'm going to give it 1 to 3 is going to be our rating system. I'm going to give that a 1.5.
Actually, that was my first thought too. Yeah.
This is why. I think the crowd got what they wanted. There was some pop for Ronda Rousey, which I appreciate. I'm not a huge fan just because I don't think that she loves it. They kind of get that vibe.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like you remember how it was kind of played into the storyline that Brock Lesnar didn't care. Mm-hmm. And he would be on TV reading magazines, just wasting time.
Give it a damn.
Basically, milking for bread and money.
Mm-hmm.
And, I get that vibe of Ronda. I'm not saying that she doesn't, but it came off that way before. And some comments she's made in the past. So, I have my reservations, but I think it's important for the division. Bring in all the superstar power you can to make it what it needs to be and what it should be. So definitely give a grade because of that. Other than that, pretty underwhelming. Sasha going out early. I thought it was pretty cool they did have Nikki James. I think she's underappreciated overall, and definitely made her seem like, she was the savvy veteran, and they just didn't want to deal with her anymore. But the reason why I get the low rating, I think, is because you're kind of looking for the Rumble to see who's next up to push. And I can't say, based off of what I saw in that match, I came out of it and said, hey, I don't, somebody's going to be next. Like, for instance, last year, Damian Priest was a monster in that Rumble, right?
Right.
And it was clear that they were going to utilize him more. I didn't really see that in the Women's Royal Rumble this year. So from that perspective, I have to give it a lower grade, because what did you set yourself up for down the road? And I can't really answer that question as of yet.
Yeah, very great point. Hold on, Jimmy. I'm letting you come in last on this. Go ahead, I'm going to let you come in. I want you to close us out on this one, because I know you got a lot to say. And I'm going to push the show along right now. I want you to finish this segment strong. I'm giving this man. This match again, like I think you're right, like a 1.5 at best. It wasn't a bad Rumble, it wasn't like a poor Rumble. I enjoyed the Mickie James portion, just of her being from TNA and the quote unquote forbidden door being open. But there was nobody that came in there, especially after knowing that Ronda Rousey was going to be a part of it. There was nobody else that was going to win. And only other person I really wanted to win was Bianca, and I didn't care about anybody else outside of that, and that was just how I felt about the Rumble. And the match itself was okay. A 1.5 is about what it was, and that would be mediocre at best, and that's a medium feeling about this match. Jam, close us out.
I want to keep this short as possible, because I don't want to rant too much about this, but I just think the Women's Rumble highlighted WWE's problem, and with their lack of women in their division. They brought back all these legends, quote unquote legends, these divas, who only last like a minute or two, got dumped. That was like a running theme that I noticed, is that these women would come out, these diva legends, whatever, would come out, last a minute or something, and then get tossed out. Like, what was the point? Ivory comes out, gets tossed out, Melina tossed out, Summer Rae comes out, tossed out, Cameron's like, why even bring them back? Oh, I know why, because you don't have enough fucking women. Mm-hmm. And instead of bringing back these so quote-unquote divas, bring up some people from NXT. Like, let the fans see who you have in your developmental. I'll never criticize any wrestling company for doing something that I wouldn't do, because, like, we all have our own ideas, whatever. I'm not going to say, oh, it's bad because they should have did this. No. Just don't insult my intelligence. You released a shitload of women. Your roster is paper thin. Okay, fine. Don't bring back a bunch of divas just to fill out this Rumble with quote-unquote recognizable names. We know what you're doing. Just, why don't you pluck from NXT so we can see the future of your company? That's all I have to say about it. And enough with the shitty music, too. All right.
Extremely well said. Really, Jam. Extremely well said. And I'm going to move on. There's nothing else we can say about this match. I'm going to move on to Dewdrop versus Bailey. This match sucked. It was. I'm sorry, that's my opinion, and I shouldn't even. Sucked isn't the right word. Do you know what it was? This match to me came off like a cooler. Like it was a cooler match. Like it could have been like Tito Santana versus like Rick Martel or something. Like it was a match that yeah, not even a cool Tito Santana, like El Matador. Like El Matador versus like one of the Armstrong boys. So it was just and it was disappointing because it was a world championship match and it came off like a cooler match. Like it was nothing to it. I thought they went through, the typical WWE match. And who wins? Becky wins with a manhandle slam off the middle ropes, and that was it. Who else won? Chris Dog, what did you think of this match?
I'll keep it short and sweet. It wasn't anything really to talk about. Right. I was sitting with my mother-in-law's boyfriend, and we were talking about it. And the fact that her name was Dewdrop, just you can't take it serious, man. Unfortunately, we'll talk about another match later, and I'll dive in a little deeper. But like those are the things that hurt characters. I mean, she's a great wrestler, from my understanding.
Piper Niven. Piper Niven is a hell of a wrestler. But yes.
Can I truly take her serious? And that's my thing. And it's all about how people are marketed and how they're put out there. And yeah, she's a great competitor, but they're not giving her a true chance. And this is where I would question creative, right? What are we doing with her? Why would you accept a name from somebody who's not even in the company anymore? So that's what I think about that match.
Thank you, Christian Costas. Jimmy Jam.
Listen, since you brought up Tito Santana, let me just say, Strike Force, his tag team with Rick Martel was great. Rick Martel in WCW, I'm going to say it, he was enjoyable. I like his run in WCW. Now, what does that have to do with Dewdrop versus Becky Lynch? Not a goddamn thing.
He's rabbi watching him right now.
But you know what? Piper Viper / Piper Niven, whatever you want to call her, she's great. Mm-hmm. But I refuse to talk about a match with a wrestler named Dewdrop. Mm-hmm. So there it is.
Facts. And moving on, that's pretty much it. And I just want to put it out there. Two women I remember watching in the same women's classics that they had, the specials that they had on the WWE Network. Two women that I watched I was really impressed with were Bianca Belair and Piper Niven. And to see what they've done to Piper Niven is why Jimmy doesn't watch WWE anymore. Okay, so Lashley versus Lesner. What can I say about this match? Actually, I enjoyed it. It's on the background as we speak right now, and I'm watching Roman Reigns show up. Piper, that's really great timing, actually. That's no bullshit. Lashley versus Lesnar. First of all, it had a great video package. I want to just throw that out there. I'm a fan of really cool video package, and they had one of those that will pump you up. If you remember back in the day, they used to have some great video package prior to the match, and that would get you excited, and it was just cool and very well done. Good spots, really fierce match. They both look strong. I really liked how at one point Lashley goes through a barricade, like he's going, and then Cowboy Brock bounces away, and he's pointing to his head like, "Hey, I'm the smarter guy." And then Lashley's right back up, and he's putting him through the pole, and they're back doing some spots, and it was well paced. Good match. The outcome was more storyline. I know Jimmy's going to probably say that Brock was made to look stronger. then Lashley was made to look weak because he didn't get a clean pin. So I want to hear what you got to say about this, Jimmy Jam.
So, yes, Brock he got the visual pin.
Lashley.
He did look stronger than Lashley. And like I said, I did get caught up on the storyline for the most part. And from what I gather, Brock was talking about Lashley like he was a joke. Mm-hmm. He called him a Brock wannabe. He's like, Lashley who? Mm-hmm. And I agree with all that. I don't like Lashley. Lashley, to me, is the modern version of Lex Luger. Bland, boring, no charisma. I mean, I do not like Lashley. Lashley is just like Sheamus to me. They're one in the same, interchangeable. One is black, one is white. Both have muscles, both bland, both boring, both former champions who had runs that flopped. Whatever. So, yeah, modern day Lex Luger. Ugh. At least Lex Luger had banger matches with Ric Flair back in the 80s. But whatever.
Who didn't?
About this Lashley Lesnar thing,
it's the same match,
I'm a huge Lesnar. Yeah, I'm a huge Lesnar fan, so of course I want him to win every match because he's Brock Lesnar. Why not? He's great. Even though his matches are formulaic and kind of, whatever now, but I still like him. But yeah, this match, I've seen the barricade spot way too many times. It does nothing for me. Paul Heyman turning on Lesnar and siding with Reigns, fine, I guess, but I've seen Reigns and Lesnar so many times, I just don't care. I'd much rather see Brock fight someone new. And you know what? For both Lesnar and Lashley to both be legit amateur wrestlers, I thought they could have done more actual wrestling, and I did say that Brock's match is all formulaic. Yes, I already understand that. I acknowledge that. But I thought maybe because they're both amateur wrestlers, they could have done something a little different, do some more chain wrestling, show me something different. Mm-hmm. But no.
Which Brock is very capable of.
Brock match. Huh?
Which Brock is very capable of. We've seen him do it.
Which Brock is very capable of, yes. But it was just the same Brock match, German suplex, which I would have enjoyed had it been anybody, not maybe not anybody, but had I enjoyed if it was somebody other than boring-ass Bobby Lashley. So being champion again. Yay, agree. Why not have Big E get the championship again? Instead of boring-ass, bland-ass,
Big E's run was going on a decline, unfortunately, and I'm a fan.
Big E looks like a goddamn geek. We will talk about that later when we talk about the Rumble. Bobby Lashley, he does nothing for me.
So check this out. It was a hurt lock to a ref bump, then an hurt lock, which Brock did not get out of. It was a ref bump, which is how he escaped. And then an F5 into another ref bump, and then you had Reigns come in. Chris Dog, what was your take on this match?
So, I want to throw this out there first. I completely 100% disagree with everything you said about Lashley and Sheamus. For what Sheamus is asked to do, I'll be quick on Sheamus. He kills it. The Celtic Warrior, the bar, even this Fight Club thing, I haven't really been peeping it too much, but it all fits what he can do. If there's one thing I have to give them credit for, they've always found out what he can do best. And he's good and excels at it.
If I had a sound button, I would hit the snore sound right now because I'm falling asleep. Boring.
So anyway, with Bobby Lashley, the Almighty, he doesn't have to talk. He has MVP there. His athleticism is on a different level. Yes, they could have had a certain type of wrestling match, but Bobby Lashley ain't Kurt Angle either. Bobby Lashley's supposed to be dominant. That's his mantra. That's the type of athlete he is. Mm-hmm. So they can't book him that way because it's not going to look right. Mm-hmm. That's not how you utilize him. He's always been used a certain way, and it's effective. That's why he's a formidable champion. That's why he should be champion. This is why I was happy about it and why I was excited for him to headline another WrestleMania because he has that opportunity now. Do I like how it happened? Yes or no, depending on how you feel about it. But the man has a strap and he deserves it.
Cut the goddamn shit. You like him because he's black, all right? That's the reason why you like him.
That's not true at all. I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan too, but I felt Bobby was the better guy at that particular time.
Fuck him.
So Reigns hits the spear. Heyman hands Paul Heyman now, which is really leading into there. We kind of see, was this going to happen? It did happen. Paul Heyman looked at Roman Reigns, handed him the belt, right? And Reigns hit Brock with the belt, knocked him out. Lashley pulls the pin, and that's what Chris Dog was referring to as not necessarily liking the way it happened. So, and that was my take also. I wanted to see Lashley win. I actually disagree. I think he's a lot better than Luger. I'm not going to say he has more personality, but when paired with the right person, the right group of people, and his in-ring charisma now, I think is tons of away or tons ahead of where it was before. On his first run, Jimmy Jam, I'm with you 1,000%. I couldn't stand him. I thought he was so whack. I thought his push was undeserved. It was only because of his look, and he was whack. But I thought he's gotten a lot better since then. Again, I mentioned before his TNA run. I think he did a lot to improve, or should I say, impact.
I would much rather watch narcissist Lex Luger than boring ass Bobby Lashley or boring ass
Bobby Lashley is all right.
Nah,
so
the hurt family, whatever, the hurt business, whatever they called, that group was dope.
And they messed it up again.
They came off well. You telling me that Lex Luger and the Wolfpack was cool?
And once again, the WWE messed it up.
Are you telling me that Lex Luger and the Wolfpack was cool? No, it was awkward and he looked like a geek, as you mentioned.
I agree, actually.
Bobby Lashley, you can put in a lot of different situations because he is multi-talented to do so and don't have to say much.
Okay, we're going to move on. You guys, we're going to hold this conversation for another one.
The athlete Bobby Lashley is.
Oh, man, we're not going to get into the Bobby Lashley conversation today. We have too much to still talk about, and I don't want to hold you guys up. So,
Lashley is a better athlete, but he's equivalent of Luger as far as talent. There it is. All right.
Look at Jimmy got getting the last goddamn word. All right, so
because Lashley sucks. That's why. Moving on.
He does not suck. You don't watch. Miz and Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. Now me being
move on from this.
Me being a traditionalist, and I'm gonna I want to lead on this one, and I'm a traditionalist, and I thought this match would have been the perfect match to put on after the Women's Royal Rumble. You don't put on. I understand this one had more to do with Miz and Maurice having a TV show and being out there than it had to do with actually pro wrestling, because this is an entertainment company, not a pro wrestling company. We get that, but this match coming on after 2 world title matches, that's ridiculous. How do you? I mean, really? I just don't get that. And that was literally my first turn off to the match, other than the fact it was Miz Maurice versus Edge and Beth Phoenix. It pretty much went how you we thought it would go. Yada yada yada. Double. What the hell you call that move? Double.
Glam slam.
Thank you. I saw it.
The glam slam.
Double glam
stereo
slam.
Glam slam.
Stereo glam slams for the pin. Any thoughts on this?
Maurice looked awesome.
She did look.
Maurice looked.
She did.
Ooh, man.
I hope. I know. Trina doesn't listen. She looked hot. So yeah, it was cool. Christo, any thoughts on this match? Was there anything to say about this match? Quite honestly.
Oh shit! He just texted me. He said his phone hung up on him.
Oh man.
To finish up. Shit. All right.
To finish up. We're going to finish up.
Yeah, to finish up without him. All right.
We're going to finish up. We're going to move on. Okay, we're on a roll. I think we pretty much ended that match. There was nothing, I think, that pretty much says what needs to be said about that match.
I refuse to review a match with the fucking men, so yes, we can move on.
Oh, God. Anyway, the Men's Royal Rumble. Okay. So, okay, Jimmy Jam. I remember initially saying, yes, you're going to like the beginning of this match. And you had to, right? Because probably the highlight of this match for me was the face-off between your number one, AJ Styles, and your number two, Shinsuke Nakamura, who is my guy.
You know what? If this was 2016, 2017, I would have loved it. But it ain't. We're in 2022. And both of these wrestlers were once great, not so much anymore, especially Nakamura, who's a goddamn shell of himself.
Oh, God.
I've already seen them have a disappointing, bland, boring rivalry that included a disappointing, bland, boring WrestleMania match. So, no, this did nothing for me.
But, I mean, we were talking about on a level of WWE for you, so I figured you'd be like, something to look at for 90 seconds. So, yeah, it wasn't all that. It was more of a call out to, like, you know, real fans who had an immediate New Japan take and was like, ooh, AJ and Shinsuke. But, yeah, that was about it.
And Nakamura is the IC champ, and he got eliminated the hella quick. He was like, what, the third one out or something like that? Something like fucking that. Geek.
Something like that. But I also thought, which was very cool, was another callback that came in very shortly thereafter with number 4. Bobby Roode comes in there. And there's a Bobby Roode AJ Styles face off. And Bobby very audibly says, I've been waiting for this for a long time. And so have they, points to the fan. And I'm like, fucking right. Okay, Bobby. I like that. That was cool. Because, you know, Bobby Roode and AJ Styles spent plenty of years together in TNA/Impact Wrestling, and I'm sure they've had many of fights, many of matches all over the world. So that I thought was a cool callback. I like things like that. And AJ put out Roode shortly thereafter. So, yeah.
And then, you know what? I'm looking at my notes right now, and right here, I mentioned my note. Despite all the talent WWE got rid of over the past couple of years, they still have a lot of great wrestlers, and yet they are still so shitty with creating. Bobby Roode, another person. What happened to the Glorious thing? What happened to that?
Great interest music.
Just
great
lame,
interest music.
Lame as fuck.
You know, Bobby Roode was somebody who I was never really that impressed with in Impact. And I remember everybody saying this dude had championship written all over him. When he got into NXT, I loved the character. I thought he was way over. To me, he fit with that group so much better. And myself, my son Ezekiel, my brother Christian and his wife, and God, I think that was it, and his nephew. We all went out to see NXT at San Jose State Arena, and the main event was Bobby Roode versus Roderick Strong. I popped so big for this match. It was a hell of a match. And you know, it's one of those things where you get to see guys at a house show just have a match. You just go out there and work their ass off. And you had, again, Roderick Strong. He's probably one of the more bland wrestlers out there, but he's one of the better workers out there too. And Bobby Roode go out there and work. Oh my God. That was a treat for me. That was a hell of a match. And to me, I walked away going, Bobby, that's what they've been talking about. Bobby Roode is a hell of a fucking worker. And I became a huge fan after watching him live on that show. And then to see from his NXT run in which I became a big Bobby Roode fan, to his status now, working with, as you know, Dolph Ziggler's second, I don't know what you want to call him, fucking waste of talent. Fucking waste of talent, man. Oh, man. So, yes, you're right. So you have Montez Ford. Damian Priest comes out, who basically did nothing in this match. Do you remember anything that he did that stood out in this match?
No, and I wrote in my notes, Damian Priest, U.S. champ, got dumped out like what? Stayed with everybody, a fucking geek. How do you treat your champions like that? Your IC and U.S. champion both got dumped out like fucking asshats.
Oh, man.
Dude, I don't... this is what I keep saying this. It's not about... Okay, it is about the shit creative. It is. But it's more about WWE insulting my intelligence. These are your champions. God damn.
Yeah, I'm big on champions.
Corbin too.
Oh, so Happy Corbin. Yeah, it was by Happy Corgan or something, right? Was it?
He got tossed out by Corbin.
That was right.
What number did Priest come in? Priest came in number what? Like,
Priest came in at 7. Priest came in at 7, and then came in Sami Zayn, and then after him Johnny Knoxville, who gets put out by Sami Zayn. Which, if you've been following the story, Johnny Knoxville had a severe concussion not that long ago. He couldn't take a bump, so I was surprised he did as much as he did, and I knew they'd get him out real quick. I hope he's.
But you know what? You know Johnny Knoxville. He had the time of his life getting the shit kicked out of him.
He did. He took a few finishes. He took a few finishes.
He loved every bit of that.
Right. So that was cool. Then you had, a couple people come out, Angelo Dawkins and stuff like that, and almost, which I thought, are they really going to put over Almost? And so he comes out, he starts kicking some ass, and Ricochet comes out. You knew he wasn't the last.
You mean Great Khali 2.0?
Yes. Great Black E.
God damn.
But I mean, you know what I don't like? They always have. They did this with Keith Lee. I know I shouldn't mention his name to you, Jimmy. They did this with Keith Lee. They had Almost come out and just scream.
I wrote that in my notes. What is it with all the goddamn roaring and yelling? What is that shit?
I have no idea. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely. It's so annoying. Can we? You don't admit the Canadian wrestlers do that? How come only Almost and Keith Lee gotta do that shit, Vince? Anyway, so
Oh wait, no. I'm looking at my notes right here. It wasn't Corbin that tossed out Priest. It was Omos.
Oh, okay.
It was Chad Gable comes in
and organized the group.
Troops. He rallied the troops, and then he sends Damian Priest. Why did he listen? One-on-one? Huh?
Why did Damian Priest listen to Chad Gable?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Insulting my intelligence. He goes one-on-one, tossed out like a goddamn geek, and then they all gang up on Omos. Like, why did you do that first? Why didn't you do that first?
He did go out of
Why would the U.S. champ listen to Chad Gable about going one-on-one?
So let's say it. Let's start right here. We're going to do our new Geek of the Show. Our Geek of this show is going to be Damian Priest.
Oh, we could have a lot of Geeks of the Show.
Okay,
we could have a whole slew of them.
We can have, it would be more geek than show. So we're just going to go with Damian Priest.
Fine. Oh my God.
So then we come out and you got Dominic Mysterio comes out and they all get together and they rest. Okay, they all come together and they all start to get rid of Almost. And I caught on the replay, it was AJ Styles that comes in and makes the final push to get Almost out. So this storyline will continue. As we mentioned on our next show, we'll be speaking about storylines in the Royal Rumble. I didn't call it WrestleMania yet.
Oh wait, I do want to say one thing.
Yes.
Montez Ford came out looking like a star.
Yeah.
When he came out, I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
Put the IC or whatever. I don't know if he's on Raw. I don't know. Put whatever mid-card title on him and stop the rockets at his back.
Yeah.
And then Angelo Dawkins came out. I'm like, I want Taz to fucking heel on him and kick the shit out of him. And then Almost happened. And I'm like, well, fuck me. That ain't going to happen now because Almost ruined it. But whatever. I just wanted to put that out there.
Facts.
Montez Ford is stuck in a tag. For WWE to hate tag teams, I don't know why they have Montez Ford stuck in a tag team with Angelo Dawkins. Put him with Bianca Belair. Let them be a power couple.
Yeah.
I would like that. I don't even watch this shit, but I'd like that.
They'd be working.
I love me some Bianca Belair.
Bianca's awesome. I love the braid. She's great. I know you're going to love this part. Happy Corgan outs Ricochet. All right.
Ugh.
Dolph Ziggler.
They had a long string of. Go ahead, Ron.
No.
Go ahead.
It was your Dolph Ziggler. Corbin gets outed by Dominic Mysterio. Somebody is.
Yeah,
Austin Theory is limited by AJ, so we'll see where that goes. So I was wondering if it's going to be, speaking of storylines, are we going to see the Almost and AJ storyline continue? Or are you going to see Austin Theory and AJ meet at WrestleMania, which could be the thing to get Austin Theory over, which might be where they're headed with that. Again, Royal Rumble comes out with some of the best storylines, supposedly heading into WrestleMania at the end of the year. So we had a bunch of people come out. Rick Boogs. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Rick Boogs. I can explain to you Rick Boogs, but you won't like it, Jimmy.
No, I do want to say. I want to say two things first. This middle portion of the Rumble put me to sleep. They had just a long string of just nothing, nobody's happening. They had Corbin coming in, and Ziggler and Sheamus. I'm like, what am I watching?
Oh,
what the fuck is this? I was bored to death.
Okay.
And then Rick Boogs comes out, and I actually like Rick Boogs. I remember him. He didn't do much when he was in NXT, but I was like, this guy gets it. And then I saw him now coming out with another wrestler with the generic music. He used to have awesome music.
Yeah.
They come with this generic music. They cut his hair. I'm like, what the fuck happened to his hair? And then commentary says he looks like a yoke Freddie Mercury. I'm like, all right. I like that. Fuck, I like the short hair now, but he does look like a yoke Freddie Mercury. So I'm like, all right, that's
hell yeah. I do remember him
like
very briefly at NXT, and I had the same thought. Like, he totally gets it. He was great, but not there for long at all. And now he's Rick Boogs. So yeah. So we had a slew of people come out. One thing I want to mention is that we had the every year spot where Kofi Kingston does a dive or something and holds on and crawls his way back to the ring without his feet touching. Well, this year he jumped off, hit the barricade, and his feet touched the ground, and he was immediately eliminated. And I was like, "Ooh, spot fail." And once because the way it happened is he hits the barricade, he holds on, and they show you with his feet hanging off, and then the referee eliminated him. We're like, what happened? And they show you just before that how his feet very clearly touched the ground. So I was like,
you know what? When Melina got tossed out, I was like, is that a botch? Did Sasha Banks mean to get rid of her that quickly? I didn't know. I don't know if it was a botch or not. When I saw this Kofi thing, I was like, that's definitely a botch.
That's a botch.
He didn't mean to do that shit. That's a botch right there.
He was supposed to hold on, and it didn't go out well. Well, he went out, Paris, basically, so it wasn't well. And so we have, and I wrote down spot fail. So a couple of people come out. Yeah, Big E. And then Bad Bunny, surprise. Bad Bunny comes in, and
another celebrity.
Yeah.
Great. You know what? He actually looks really good in the ring. I just don't like celebrity spots. I'm tired of them. I'm just over them.
I think they're wasting on a worker, or what could have been a surprise spot of a real worker, or somebody that can contribute later on. So, but he gets out Sheamus, your favorite. He gets Sheamus out, and he gets out Ziggler.
And I cheered for that because fuck
he gets out Ziggler with the help of Rey Mysterio in the 619, and then here comes the money. Shane O'Mac. Shane O'Mac comes out, and I was like,
and I threw up a little bit in my mouth when he came out. Oh, damn.
It was good to see Shane O'Mac make his return. We'll see, it's just for the Rumble, or is it going to be extended return? I know
it was good to see him come out. Word, it was good to see him come out?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah. It was, I like the music. Here comes the money. Okay, so I'm looking to say it was good to see.
He has good music, I will agree.
I like to hear the music.
But I do not need to see any more McMahon on my TV.
Oh, you're right. And not necessarily that, just, here comes the money. And so then Mysterio goes out by Otis, and Shane puts out Kevin Owens, which is a throwback, if I'm not mistaken, to their feud a couple years ago. Then you have Randy Keith Orton, I don't know. Randy Clan.
Randall Keith Orton. I like Randy Orton.
Orton's come a long way.
He came onto a huge hometown pop.
He's the man, dude. He's the man. And he immediately puts out Big E, pretty much. I should say immediately. He puts out Big E. And then my guy, B Square's pick for number 30, his pick for the winner, Brock Lesnar. He comes out.
Whoa. We are not we are not going to gloss over Big E getting tossed out like a goddamn.
I mentioned that we glossed it over. Hold on. He's a geek. Wait. I guess we have another geek of the show, and I totally agree. Big E, just his last 3 or 4 weeks have been him being a geek. It's been really bad. He just got him pinned clean in the middle of the ring, made it look like a complete herb. Yeah, it's been quite the.
He started out the year as the champion, and now he's getting tossed out like cat shit.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good.
I said my piece.
No, I'm glad you put that out there, because I wrote down RKO outs Big E, and I remember thinking, whoa, wow, that was pretty. He went out pretty lame. He went out like a lame. So there's that part. And so, like I said, Brock comes in, which B Squared, shout out B Squared. He predicted Brock comes in. He FIs Bad Bunny. He outs Riddle and Orton. He puts out Shane, and then puts out Drew McIntyre, and Brock wins the Royal Rumble. And it's going to go on to face who? Who is he going to face? Who knows? But Brock wins the Royal Rumble, and he will be facing.
Oh, we know.
Now, see, is it going to be? They set it up to you think it's going to be Bobby Lashley, but it definitely could be Roman Reigns, and that's how basically the show was based around who's Brock going to face at WrestleMania. That's what the show was going to be, because it set up in his match and it ended off in the Royal Rumble. So it was known for
Listen, I've said time and time again, I love me some Brock Lesnar. But once again, WWE sees fit to insult my intelligence. How the hell does he get a Rumble spot? He was the champion coming into the event. He lost the belt that night. How does he get a spot? Granted, if WWE wants to tell me that the loser of said Lesnar-Lashley match gets a spot in the Rumble, fine. At least say that. I don't think it makes sense, but whatever. At least say something. How does he get a spot in the
very good
Rumble?
point. He didn't even beat up somebody and take their spot. He just came out like it was his music and everything.
Show me something.
Like it should have been somebody laid out in the back.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Ron.
No, this should have been somebody laid out in the back or some shit from an FI that Brock put him through a table and catering. It's just Brock just came out like that was the plan.
I didn't want to rant too much about this whole event, but I just want to mention another thing. The rules of the Rumble, they need to really have real rules. It is 2022. The Rumble has been going on since 1988.
Yeah.
When Sonya Deville came out and then she went to the commentary table, get in the fucking ring.
But now, you know what though? I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call you out because in the 92 Royal Rumble, the greatest of all time, Jake Roberts comes in, slides down into the corner, and then rolls out of the bottom rope and walks around and says, "See how smart I am." But I know I'm not comparing Sonya Deville to Jake Roberts. I'm just saying that it's been done prior to this.
Yes, but just because it's been done, it doesn't mean it should keep happening. This is my problem. We are in 2022. This isn't 1982 with the old territory Carney day. Stop with the Carney bullshit. Stop with the bullshit DQ dusty finishes. Stop with these bullshit Rumble rules. If you come out at number 3, if you want to stay outside the ring, fine. By the time number 4 comes out, you need to get your ass in the ring. If you don't get in the ring by the time the next entrant come in, you're disqualified. You can't come in anymore. Stop it. Stop with these ridiculous Rumble rules or lack thereof. Do not insult my intelligence. Stop with the Carney bullshit. That's why I don't watch WWE anymore. It's too much Carney shit.
This has been Jimmy's Jam, the rant segment that will follow every week of the CliqueCast. And I am your host, Big Ron Stud. Unfortunately, we lost Christian Uncaged. He'll be back next week or the week thereafter, whichever week he can make it, because he can do that. He's a member of the clique. And once again, you can find us on Spotify. Follow us, like us, give us a rating, hopefully very high. You can find us on Google Podcasts. You can find us on Pod Addict. We're located, soon to be located, on iHeartRadio. Go ahead and find our Facebook page, the CliqueCast. Like us, follow us, join us. And pretty soon we'll have our YouTube page, which is under construction. You'll be able to follow us there. And we'll be able to put a whole lot of content on there. I got ideas for that. And also our Instagram page, which was still under construction, but it's there to go ahead and like it. We plan on doing that and premiering our show there weekly before it comes out. So thank you for listening. Appreciate you, Auntie Jerry. Thank you for all our listener. And we hope to grow and expand the show and hope you continue to be a part of it. Thanks for listening to us, and have a great Sunday. This show is going up like real soon. Thanks a lot, people.
And the ad companies, hit us up. I will shill any product you want. Maybe
Jimmy,
any product. Don't
Jimmy is shameless.
Hold on, not any product. But hit us up.
Jimmy's shameless.
Dick pills if you want
He'll sell dick pills. He'll sell whatever you want. Inflatable vibrators, wherever you need. Jimmy got it. We'll see you next week on the CliqueCast.
Close us out. Bye.